Hi everyone, welcome to the Mental Health Ambassadors Arts and Medicine event. Today I'd like to introduce you all to Ms. Salam Green. Salam Green is an award-winning poet and author who hosts Writing to Heal workshops as an artist in residence at UAB Arts and Medicine. Green is a certified listener poet in the Listener Poet program where people in the healthcare community can share their thoughts and experiences and receive a custom poem. She was a 2020 to 2021 Eco Poetry Fellow, a Reimagining Justice Fellow with the Southern Poverty Law Center, the 2016 Poet Laureate for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and a TEDx speaker in Birmingham. And she's currently a New Economy Coalition Climate Solutions Fellow. Green founded and owns the Literary Healing Arts, which is an organization that focuses on the healing power of writing. Her work has appeared in the Birmingham Times, Scalawag, Bust, Feminist Review, Black Youth Project, Elephant Journal, Southern Women's Review, AL.com, Birmingham Arts Journal, and more. Please give a warm welcome to Ms. Green.
Hi, how are y'all today?
Yeah, how about you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for your wonderful hospitality and for that welcome. My name is Salam Green, and today we are here to talk about how storytelling can transform us in the wellness space, how storytelling is good for us in our mental wellness, how storytelling is something that can support us in all that we do to help us, whether it's communication or whether it's also with our mental well-being. So he's going to take that off. I'm going to go ahead and put my information up here, just in case. My old regular email. So if anyone has any questions, if you happen to take a picture of what I'm doing, you can send it to me. You can be my PR people. Because that's how we roll these days, right? Otherwise, we don't have any record that I was here. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about storytelling. Who can remember a story that you read or a story that was read to you as a young child? And it's okay if you don't remember, if you didn't have any, but who can remember? I remember, and I am probably 25, 30 years older than you all are. And I remember, and you might not remember these, but if you do remember them, or if you don't, please look them up. They're called golden books. And so you can go Cracker Barrel or those kinds of places where they have old-fashioned toys, and you can find golden books. And these golden books, the reason they're called golden books, because on the spine of the book, it was golden. Ooh, I know. Like, and as a child, you got these golden books, and the spine of the book was golden. And these golden books, they were about animals, and they had all of these wonderful books. And I remember my mother, who was a first grade teacher, she taught, of course, storytelling. And she would take me, back in the day, you could take your child to school with you, not just because of a take a child to work day. She took me to school with her every single day when I was 4 or 5 years old, before there was babysitting. And I would sit in my mother's first grade classroom, and I would watch her teach all her students. And she would bring out those golden books that had the golden spine. And at my house, I had a bunch of the golden books. And so I would just go and get the golden books off the shelf with the golden spine. And I would read all day long, all of those wonderful golden books. So I should have gotten some and brought some with me. So golden books, old-timey, old-fashioned toys, go and find some. What are some books that you can remember someone reading to you or had an impact on you as a child? Anybody?
I still remember the Dr. Seuss book. Yeah, Dr. Seuss.
Yes. And I don't know if you did Dr. Seuss ever come to your classroom or something like that?
Dr. Seuss read.
Yeah. There's Dr. Seuss read. Did you have your green eggs and ham or something really like really great? You know, so exciting that, or they dressed up as Dr. Seuss, or you had to as well. Yes, and Dr. Seuss. What was so fun about Dr. Seuss books that you can remember?
They rhyme, though. What's up? They lyrics, but Whimsical.
Yes, they were silly, whimsical lyrics, lyrical, silly, whimsical lyrics. And it was all right, and it was all on time, and it was all about this crazy character, Dr. Seuss. Wow. Anybody else? Any other books you remember someone reading to you, or any stories anyone told you when you were a child?
Rainbow fish.
Ooh, rainbow. Oh my gosh, where's my rainbow fish book? I'm a former kindergarten teacher, so never mind me. Like, what you love about rainbow fish? I know it was the glitter fish. I get on the book. Oh, rainbow fish, wow. And do you remember who read that book to you all the time?
My mom.
Your mom. Anybody remember Rainbow Fish? Is a purple little book, a purple bluish little book, and it has a little, yes, all the sparkles on Rainbow Fish. I love that. Anyone else? What books or stories were read to you? Yes.
My mom used to read this book. It was called To the Moon and Back.
Yes. If you to the moon and back, absolutely classic, very classic. Yes. And what did that book say to you? Or what did that feel like having your mom do that? Do you remember that when you think about it?
I feel like my parents don't.
Wow. Wish somebody would read me to the moon and back something tonight. It's something I don't know, Dr. Seuss cares, right? Something silly, something whimsical, something funny. So anyone else wants to go? Going once. Going
The Natural House.
Yeah.
Magic Magic Tree House. What do you love about the Magic Tree House, except for, of course, the obvious? So,
Like in different worlds. Me and my dad love fantasy books, and so we read a whole lot of his fantasy series.
oh,
I love the historical fiction of mine. The words there, punching the picture, I wish I could go there. They were Thomas said, am I there yet? Oh, I feel like that. I'm more than
Oh, and then look at the connection that we have around books, around the stories that we read, the places that it took us to, the places that it wanted us to go. We were thinking, okay, this is the Magic Tree House. I'm really going to teleport from where I am and be there. And think about, what does that do? So as we were talking about my golden books, I'm introducing you all to those Rainbow Fish, Dr. Seuss, the Magic Tree House, our good night books. How do you feel when we're talking? What feeling do we have in the room now?
You know, just talking about what we used to do with each other. It takes us back to that.
Nostalgia.
So yes, nostalgia.
Nostalgia. So nostalgia can be another tool to help us connect with our well-being. And so oftentimes you may think, well, traumatic childhood, or I don't have those memories. You can imagine those memories. Magic Tree House, right? So the Magic Tree House is a book of imagination. Rainbow fish, are there any rainbow fish? Yes, they are. I don't understand. Yes, there's truly mermaids and rainbow fish, right? So we can go into those spaces of imagination that help us clear and then help us connect and then bring us into a consciousness of joy, a consciousness of those emotions that we may have felt, 20, 30 years ago, or those things that maybe we never felt and we thought, oh my gosh, those golden books. The next time that I'm with my grandma at the Cracker Barrel, I'm going to ask them, I'm like, hey, move out of the way. Where are those golden books? I want to buy some and those beautiful things. So today, that's what we're going to briefly talk about. I'm going to share some books that are by some African-American authors that are kind of focusing on Black history. And we're going to talk about how these books are helping storytelling. And the reason I brought these books, of course, is Black History Month, and I thought we could connect all those things together. And then also the love of storytelling as a space for mental wellness. But also, when you think about Black history, I always tell people that white history isn't Black history. So the bad things that we see that happened in us during Jim Crow or civil rights or slavery is white history. And then all of the great things that we have seen that comes out of the innovation that African Americans have done is Black history. And so during Black History Month, we focus on those innovative and inventive and historical narratives that bring us into the truth of Black history. So I wanted to share some of those books. Then I wanted to get your ideas on the themes and what kind of bursts out and what kind of comes alive. And then I'm going to have you do like a quick exercise before we leave today. So the first book that I'm going to read, of course, is a book by our poet laureate, Ashley Jones. Do you all know her? Okay. In Alabama, we have an Alabama poet laureate who we vote for and who is the poet laureate for Alabama. And Ashley Jones is the first and the youngest Black woman poet laureate here in Alabama. And she also graduated, I think, from UAB, or has done some work here at UAB, but teaches at the Alabama School of Fine Arts in the English department and the literature and poetry department, and travels around the world doing poetry because she is the queen of poetry for Alabama. And one of her first books is called Magic City Gospel. Can you say Magic City Gospel? Isn't this a pretty book? Yeah. How do you feel when you see this book? Like, just, I don't know, how many of you like books? Just like books. How many of you like reading? Okay, I see one. So one or two of you like, no, they make me read. I have no choice. Or you would like to read more if you didn't have to do more of academic and the reading that you're doing now, the work that you're doing. Yeah, like if I didn't have to read this stuff that they're making me read. I have an English degree, and I know I used to have to read maybe 3 or 4 books a week. And then when I talk to go and talk to different people and students, and I said, I used to read 3 or 4 books a week. And they're like, what? 3 or 4 books a week, like books? I was like, yeah, books. They weren't online, they weren't virtual. I had to actually go and get the books and read them. And so, but what I also like is to see the beautiful visual arts and holding a book and feeling a book and smelling a book. It's like coffee, it's like tea. And this is a beautiful book that we have here that already starts off with our mental wellness. I'm going to read you a few points, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what we heard and what it meant to us. So the first poem I'm going to read is called Riddled in the Heart of Dixie. Riddled in the Heart of Dixie. This is by Ashley Jones. I am the tail of a kite in the Birmingham sky. I am the crumb of hair between the teeth of an afro pick, the slants of butter and biscuit dough. I am Sheriff Taylor's clear breaths in that backcountry whistle, the rocks beating beneath Opie's country toes. I am the smell of fat back in a cast iron skillet, the crust flaked off of cornbread in the oven. I am the sparkling bellies of trains as they pass by Railroad Park. I am the pothole cupping a tire, the red dirt on the hill near grandmother's house. I am the sour and the grain. I am the lemonade and pound cake, the gulp of air in y'all. I am the tick of stars becoming brilliant in the sky. Open your mouth and let me land on your tongue. Let me wash you in Alabama heat and tell you who you are, and tell you who you are. Riddled in the heart. How did that poem make you feel? What feeling came to you? What thought? Any emotion. And an emotion is just a feeling, and a feeling is just something that kind of pops up outside of us, from the inside of us.
I say like kind of like the one, because we're also around Birmingham, we would see some like Railroad Park, like the potholes and things like that. So kind of like things I've seen anyways.
So belonging, we felt a sense of belonging. Anyone else?
Feel happy to be here.
I think the belonging, then it reminded you or gave you that sense of love for a state and a city and a space that you love. I love what she says about, I am the lemonade and the pound cake, the gulp of air in y'all. When you think about words and the stories that these words convey, how can you, as persons who are working on your well-being and supporting others who are working on their well-being, find a word to describe yourself after hearing this? Because I think the author or the poet in here does it really well. I am the tick of stars becoming brilliant in the sky. I am the crumb of hair between the teeth of an afro pig, the slants of butter in biscuit dough. I am the tail of a kite in the Birmingham sky. Can you just imagine the tail of a kite? It's March now? No, it's not March now. This week. It's March, it'll be March. I don't know how windy it'll be or whatever, but there's always that time when it's time for those little, at Railroad Park, we see the tail of the kite in the sky. There's the body of the kite and there's the tail of the kite. So is there any descriptions or describing words that you want to own for yourself after hearing this poem? I am the what of the what? Anybody come up with anything? Want to take a breath and think of anything you can come up with? I am the lemon cupcakes at the Publix in downtown Birmingham.
A morsel of a cookie.
The morsel of a cookie, yes. The morsel of a cookie. Yes.
It makes me feel like, in some respects, she would, like, all of those feel like they were happy things, in some sense, but also like how small in the bigger picture. Like, and that's kind of how I feel it, is like being part of a bigger thing, but being a very small. Each of those things that she put, take for instance, the kite is typically fun and you're like enjoying this, you know, the weather and you're outside and with people you might be with, and or by yourself, just kind of running free. But being the end of it, I didn't know if that had meaning, like being
At the bottom, yeah. That you can be the, you know, tip top of something, but also in a city such as this city that is riddled with its history and its narrative. Do we always find that if you are a minority, that it is the tail of a kite, even though there is parts of you in other spaces where you are beyond just a crumb, that kind of thing. Absolutely. Anyone else? Anyone? Well, I'll read you one more of her poems. And there's a great article that I just read in Very Well, just an online publication that talks about storytelling is typically described as telling or writing stories, but the whole idea of narrative storytelling. So I think you have a class here on narrative storytelling. And there's a lot of work that has been done in narrative medicine. And the whole idea of narrative medicine is just using storytelling to support people in their health and their healing. And particularly in the institutionalized hospital spaces or spaces where people are there as patients or as caregivers or being cared for. So coming in and using stories and doing storytelling as a way to support them in the field of psychology. So we look for the links that are between a person's emotional health, the stories that matter to them, and we find a way to connect that. And the entire way that we do that is that we transform a negative narrative or a narrative that may not be a narrative that's positive for us. And we look at ways in which we can transform that narrative into a narrative that's going to be positive or a narrative that's going to be productive for us. So if the narrative is that I am the tail end of the kite, and that is the truth, then we can find within that same poem that I'm also, you know, my hair is also the part of the pick that grabs it. We can also find that I'm part of the lemon cake. We can also transform those problematic or negative narratives that can turn into thoughts that can cause us not to have, not to be at the height of our emotional well-being. And as we can kind of sometimes turn those thoughts or do some retraining or reframing in our brain, stories does that. And so even just reading a poem can do that for us. And so this poem may change the tenor of how we feel as well. So I'm gonna ask you how you feel after this poem, which maybe is a little different than the first one. So the last poem I'm gonna read from her is God Speaks to Alabama. I molded you from red clay, sweet cornbread, the slow drip of a lemon, squeezed over sugar and ice. I kissed you to life on the lips. Mama bird I am. My tongue feeds you blood. I have waited in this heat for you to pucker and say my name. Hallelujah, Alabama. I give you fire and blackberries and white, thick cotton. I give you the honeybee and the yellow hammer. Find me, swallow me down, and whisper me to passerby as you sit nightly on the creaky front porch. As you sit nightly on the creaky front porch. So just sit with that for maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And I'm happy to read it again. So what feeling do we have now? Where are our emotions? What are our thoughts after hearing that? And there's no right or wrong. Emotions are neutral. We give justice to whatever comes up. I molded you from red clay and sweet cornbread, the slow drip of a lemon, squeezed over sugar and ice. I kissed you to life on the lips. Mama bird, I am. My tongue feeds you blood. I have waited in this heat for you to pucker and say my name. Hallelujah, Alabama. I give you fire and blackberries and white, thick cotton. I give you the honeybee and the yellow hammer. Find me, swallow me down, and whisper me to passerbys as you sit nightly on the creaky front porch. Any thoughts?
We're almost like grateful because there's so much simple things we just don't even think about in our daily lives. Not probably anything of those little simple things that I just take for granted. You know, like things like honeybees. You know, that's a big problem nowadays. So, but yeah, I feel grateful for this.
And think of all the things that came from Alabama or that are Alabamian, are Alabama.
That's good.
You know, remember, for people who love Alabama, it's great, but for who never take it for granted, and we all know, but the yellow hammer bird, and then the trees and that are specific to this land, and the problematic things, you know, that are specific cotton, but at the same time we use it for livelihood, right? The whole world does. The sinister nature of something that's so beautiful, how can it then also have such a tragic name or tragic nature? So as I read those two poems, I just wanted you to think about your relationship with Alabama. And if you had one word to describe your relationship with Alabama, or maybe the city, what would that one word be? And it doesn't have to be, words are neutral. What's your relationship with Alabama after hearing those poems, or just in general? I love it. It's a juxtaposition. Am I just here for school? Readily, I'm a traveler. What are some words or one word with your relationship with Alabama?
I would say for me, it's complicated because there are some aspects like nature here is beautiful, and so there's a lot of social problems and things that I don't like, and I kind of felt I wanted to get out of Alabama, but now that I'm here, that really I appreciate it.
It's complicated. Yeah, complicated. But yet you're staying. Or considering. Consider. Anyone else? Maybe one more person. Your relationship with them.
just like thankful, because like, well, there has been some messed up stuff that's happened, and not everything's just sunshine and rainbows, like. We learn from that, and we'll only get stronger, so I'm thankful we brought it all down. All the little things that's powerful.
Thank you. Thankful, thankful, thankful. Whenever I ask someone who's new here to Birmingham, just new here, like it could be from anywhere, Chicago or Indiana or, Atlanta or I don't know, wherever, and ask them about, Atlanta, you probably know, but just anywhere else, a lot of my friends or new people would say, it's different. It's different. And that little way they say it, like, it's different. I know exactly what they mean. And then there's a beauty, like, first of all, it's different. Like, I didn't know you had mountains, didn't know you had hills, didn't know the nature was this way, didn't know that the weather for the most part, and this weekend we'll have it back, is pretty much, sunny and, about the same and warm, like, all the crazy things with the weather. But at the same time, it's like, we really don't want to go anywhere else for real. That's real snow and real cold and real rainy. We'll take those few days that we have that schizophrenic weather. But then there's also a thickness, and you can feel it sometimes, the story past. And then at the same time, if you're here, you want to continue to be here and create that change. So absolutely. So as we end today, I wanted to bring you, just read you this book and be done with it. And then I think my time will be up, but it's called I Am Every Good Thing. And this is look, isn't this a pretty book? Well, handsome, maybe gorgeous, just like, someone saw this, like, this is an interesting cover. But when you look at this cover, what do you see? I see power. I'm like, this is a powerful dude, right? What else do you see when you see this cover? Confidence. Triumph. Yeah. This is by Derek Barnes. And the illustrations are by Gordon James. If you don't know Derek Barnes and Gordon James, then what you even doing with your life? Evidently not a loser life like you, Ms. Green, who's just sitting around reading golden books and eating at the Cracker Barrel. We've got things to do, But Derek Barnes, he is a wonderful children's literature writer who just won a National Book Award and won a whole lot of other awards. Of course, he was supposed to be here in Hoover for Black History Month, but they told him he couldn't come. And so there's all that controversy. He's the controversial author that was supposed to be here in a couple weeks ago, but a parent complained and said that, ban the book, kind of thing. So he's the one. But I wanted to bring the book because when I heard it, I thought, and as a children's literature person, you gotta be kidding me. This is the best author ever. And this is not even my most famous, my most book I like the most. It's just what he's most famous for. And the illustrator, Gordon James, look at these illustrations, is one of a kind. So I'm just gonna read you one or two things, and then we're gonna talk about it, and then we'll be done. He says, look at this little boy. He says, I am a non-stop ball of energy, powerful and full of life. I am a go-getter, a difference maker, a leader. Did we say that at the beginning? I think this is what this is about. I am every good thing that makes the world go around, like gravity or the glow of moonbeams over a field of brand new snow. I am good to the core, like the center of a cinnamon roll. Yeah, that good. Cinnamon roll. Maybe that's something we need to go get after this. That's how I think too. It's like, ooh, I didn't want one until someone said. I'm skateboard tricks, straight knees and elbows. But you know what? I am right back on my feet again. Look at this imagination. I'm one eye open, one eye closed, peeking through a microscope, gazing through a telescope, checking out the spaces around me and plotting out those far off places I have yet to go. But why would they want to ban this book? Well, you know why. I am a brother, a son, a nephew, a favorite cousin, a grandson, a friend. I am real. I am tight hugs, a hand to hold, a shoulder to cry on if you have to. I hope you never have to. I am here. I am here. And although I am something like a superhero, every now and then I'm afraid. I'm not what they might call me, and I will not answer to any name. That is not my own. I am what I say I am. I am what I say I am. I am every good thing. I am every. Imagine the mental health and the mental well-being, the social emotional well-being, the societal well-being, walking into a classroom as a Black boy, seeing this book. What are you gonna do? Even as a white boy, you're probably like, I like him, he's cool, I wanna be his friend. So the whole historical narrative of what I wanted to end with today, and the reason I brought books about African-American authors that had faces of African-Americans during Black History Month, is so that we can connect with the mental wellness and the mental well-being of seeing representation of all selves, including yourself, not just, in your own home library, but in books around the world, with stories that are about you, that tell us, that remind all of us and signify from everyone that I am every good thing. How does that make you feel knowing? How do you feel? Oh my gosh, I feel so excited. I'm like, even if I didn't care about this stuff before, now guess what? I am every good thing. And if I am every good thing, then guess who else is every good thing? All of you all are. Rainbow Fish, the Magic Tree House, the Good Night, Goodbye books. All of those things are really good things. And we all deserve to know that, remember that. My mental wellness as an African-American woman is connected to your mental well-being as students at UAB, as men, as women, as those of many nationalities and ethnicities. The healthier we are, then the healthier you are, and the healthier the entire Alabama is, and the world is, and the globe is. And what if it only took a look in? And without a shadow of a doubt, I am worthy to be loved. I am worthy to be. Any questions? Thank you all. Wow. I know I'm over time, but I'll share. My book is coming out. I have a small book coming out, and it's Peaches, the Peaceful Poet. She's a voice for the people. Isn't she so beautiful? I know y'all saw this. Stop looking at Peaches. Don't you know? Look how you smile. You're like, I know it's the biggest smile. I know. And this is my book, and it's all about Peaches, who's a peaceful poet who's going around doing poetry for the peace of the people. So it's coming out in April, and so just stay tuned about all the things. Peaches is in Selma. Peaches is all over the place doing all of her little poetry for everyone. And then Peaches is calming down and letting you all know that you can be peaceful too. But just to let you know, we got some.
You get just a glimpse of
Peaches a peaceful poet. Well, the name of this is What the World Needs Now is Peace, Peace, Peace. Peace, peace, peace. So I'll read her song that she's gonna sing in the back.
you first heard her here.
You did. This is the first time we are hearing the voice of Peaches, the peaceful poet. Yes. Don't you just love her name? I love her name. But it is. What the world needs now is peace, peace, peace. Peaches, the peaceful poet, spreads love and peace. How about you? What the world needs now is peace, peace, peace. What the world needs now is to feel and become free. What the world needs now is equal and equitable rights. What the world needs now is peace, peace, peace. Sing with Peaches, the peaceful poet. What the world needs now is to feel and become free. What the world needs now is to be equal and equitable. What the world needs now is peace, peace, peace. Imagine if we were all free, if we were all free. Peace, peace. Thank you all. Questions or anything of overtime, but I was always so much fun coming and speaking with you all and seeing your smiling faces, and thank you for the work that you Thank you.
Thank you.
Go, y'all, Magic City Gospel, and I'm every good thing, and of course, I'll let you know when this comes out, if you all like it.
No, we love it.
Mhm.
Well, I just want to say, you're amazing. Like, you're amazing.
Thank
And
you.
I just love, every time I'm in your presence, it's just so uplifting. And I just want to be in your presence, and I just want you to know. You're gonna make me tear up, like.
No, thank you. No, where I just teared up in the car before I came here for no apparent reason, so go right. That's what I feel. I'm like, why am I crying?
I mean, I of course, think of you as, you know, one of the ones back in 2020 who was helping us get through the pandemic. And, you know, as we were launching, mental health ambassadors, and just what a blessing you are to everyone. And I just want to say, that's the blessing to us, to our students on campus. I just love seeing, you know, like you, all that you're doing also to just spread the good word and, you know, pour into people. And I feel like giving a lot of purpose to us, and in a lot of ways, we need hope.
Thank you. That means more than you could ever know on a rainy day like this, where I am shaky, but best, grateful and blessed. Thank you so much. And what you all are doing, like, look at the growth that you're growing. I know it's beyond this room, but just the growth that you all had since you began, like, yeah. So I'm very proud to be a part of this, and very proud. I know each one of you should be very proud of the work that you're doing and your presence, your social media presence, and your presence that's visible to everyone. So thank you so much. Thank you. So keep up the good work. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, God. And we might take a picture with you
Okay.
in your book.
Yeah. I know. Don't be shy. Whatever feels comfortable. And thank you, they gave me a shirt, so I'm coming back every time. I'm like, I'm gonna take it. And most people are like, no, less. Shirt, cookies,